My name is Redmayne and I'm playing Jack Jackson. I read the scripts before I read the book. I had the book sat there. I'm an incredibly slow reader, so books tend to sit on my shelves for long periods of time before I get around to reading them. So I read the scripts for this first, and I had all 4 scripts there and intended to read them over a couple of days, and found myself locked in my room for a couple of hours just pacing through them, because John Peel has done such a beautiful adaptation of them. Jack's journey varies from the book to John's adaptation, specifically in his age when we meet him, aged 18, or when I start playing him. The idea which John brought in of him being a mute, or not a mute, but not socially comfortable with speaking amongst strangers. And what I love is that by the end of the piece, when the big judgment scene happens in Kingsbridge, by that point he's almost become an orator of some description. That was a real appeal, is finding this massive journey over 8 hours. And it's tricky when you're shooting it, because of course you're not shooting in chronological order. So jumping back and forth, there are inconsistencies, wonderful inconsistencies in Jack's character from the outset. You know, he's brought up almost as a savage within the forest, but he has an incredible education from his mother. So there's this sort of hybrid of him having a lot of instinct still, but also he speaks French. He has, he can read. He can, which people of a sort of higher status or wealth wouldn't necessarily be able to do. So you have all these anomalies from the word go with Jack, and they stay the whole way through. For all his kindness and his valiant behaviour, he also is strong-willed, stubborn. Jack's relationship with Aliena is one, again, because of the expanse of the piece and how long the 8 hours of it really has time to build. It goes from gut instinct, when he's at that point in his life where he's unable to really communicate with strangers, but he has a complete vision of her. And again, I mean, I keep using the word instinct, but Jack has this sort of visceral urge towards her, and that develops and develops. And his capability with human beings is pretty weak, let alone his capability with women. So I think that's been lovely to play. And what's so great is having Hayley Atwell, who is, a formidable actress and spirit, and she's someone that comes with such strength that I kind of love the fact that their relationship is always it's who wears the trousers. We often have that discussion, which is incredibly difficult. Being slapped on screen is really difficult, because the first time it happens, it's a complete shock and you get hit, and then you try not to anticipate it, but lots of takes you see me doing that just before it's coming, with the fear. When I walked on the set of Pillars of the Earth, I've been lucky enough to work on some sort of large scale built sets in the past, but nothing had prepared me for seeing the vast part of a cathedral built. We were all taken on a tour, actually, led by Sergio, and we all just we stood there with our jaws dropped and our eyes bloated, and all got, however long, you'd been working in this industry, we all got tingles. I remember just this absolute feeling of, because you don't have to play it, you feel it. You feel the awe and the inspiration of Ocha, this place in Hungary where a field has been transformed into the work site, but also the interior studio spaces have been so vast and so epic that you are wowed by them. In preparation for playing Jack and Alfred and Tom Builder, Rufus Sewell, Liam Garrigan and I all went and spent some time working with a stonemason, and how difficult it was to carve these stones into relatively simple shapes. We were all kind of staggered by it. And once you've done that once and spent sort of 5 hours slavering over the intricacies of one rounded stone, you can never look at a building in the same way again. And that certainly informed our respect for the building of this cathedral and how long a process that is. But also I got to go and meet a sculptor here in Budapest where we're filming it. And what was astounding about what she had to say is there's this beautiful piece of writing that John Peelmeyer has written about when Jack tries to tell Ali and express to her what the process of sculpting is for him. And he describes it as the chisel being in tune. And when I read it, I was like, this is a stunning piece of writing. It sounds, I wonder if it's romanticised in any way. And the first thing that happened when I went and met this sculptor was she sat there going, no, listen to the chisel, listen, you can hear when it's in tune. And I was like,